We're back at it again here with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. To all the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all the subscribers, welcome back. All I ask for in return is for you to smash that like button to let me know you watch this video. Helps out the YouTube channel and lets me know you appreciate the time and effort I put into making these videos. Now, here we have in front of us KXIN, and this is a stock that is setting up to possibly squeeze even further than the small squeezes that already happened. But before we jump into the chart, we look at the data and every reason behind it and the chart itself and the technicals. I want to share with you guys the two home runs I mentioned this morning over at the Discord. We're going to come right back into it here with KXIN and all the possibilities moving forward. So the two home runs I mentioned this morning over at the Discord were phenomenal. It was a great way to end the week and a great way to end the month, right? The last weekend before the month transitioning into September next week. It was spectacular, guys. If this is something you want to become part of, I would like to invite you to join us. The link is down below in the description to the Discord. And by joining, you'll become part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together. So here we are with NURO, one of the stocks I mentioned, CEMI, RNXT, and TAOP. This was our worst performer, and CEMI was our worst performer, giving 10% plus at its highest point. This gave jumps of 3 to 5%, 5 to 10%. But our two home runs, we're going to go ahead and look at them here on the chart. They were spectacular, guys. So here we are with NURO, and this jumped up in the pre-market, right? Pretty fast, a 3 to 5% when we started watching it, pulled back down and took off a nice 20% plus in a matter of minutes. Then it sat sideways and took off to a highest point of 60% plus in the day, guys. This was phenomenal. Now, RNX was our second home run of the day, and it gave us a highest point of 20% plus in a matter of 5 minutes, guys. And this is what we look for. Opportunities daily. If this is something that interests you, you're more than welcome to join us. We look forward to having you join us. And it's not just about the stocks I watch that creates value in this community, if not the community itself that you can become part of today, guys. Let's jump into these charts. So here we are with KXIN, and this stock itself has already been pushing upwards, right? Like I stated earlier, it's been having small jumps and small short squeezes. You can actually see it in the way the chart has moved, and it was a lot better to catch this one at this dip way down here in the 170s, maybe even on the way up in the 2s, but it has exploded pretty big to the 3s, come back down to the 2s, hit a recent high here of 407 and has pulled back down to the 3s. Now, this is an opportunity because of this pullback. Now, we're going to look here at the short float. We're going to look at the float overall and how many days they have to cover, right? The shorts for this specific squeeze to happen going into next week. Now, it's been running, right, the last several weeks. This next week is going to be significant going into this specific niche and sector altogether, okay? And I'm not calling it the niche and sector of cars because this is in the car sector and in that niche, but if not, China-based companies, okay? That's the niche that this falls into. This is headquartered in Beijing, China, okay? That makes this very speculative, very risky, and something to be aware of. So I do want to put that out there. The risk is a lot higher than a typical risky stock. This is risky overall. Every stock is pretty risky, especially short squeezes with the volatility. But this one in particular, because of it being a China-based company, and you know how this has been cracked down on those companies. They've been going through a lot lately, and this is in the auto industry that is really fragile to how Tesla and other large players like NIO and you got Lordestar Motors now trying to push up, and then you have all the different ones, XPeng, Li Auto, and so forth, all playing a big role in how these smaller companies move with them. So just be aware of that as well. Now, this is in a position, right, for short squeezing because it is the number one short squeeze score right now of 95.79. Now, we've seen 99, we've seen 98, we've seen 97. 95 is a little bit lower, okay? But it's still important because it's the number one in the whole entire list. And the days to cover is 1.07. This is pretty big because this shows you how the picture is looking, as well as The borrow fee rate, 20.53. Now, when we come over here, you could see that the share float, right, is 18 million here, right? And the outstanding shares is 41 million. So this company has not that much when it comes to volume of total shares. So that's something to be aware of as well. Then we have here the short float, guys, 32%. This is literally 12% above what you would call a high short float or a high short interest, which is 20%. This is at 32, guys. This is pretty big. This is pretty high. We've seen 40, we've seen 35, we've seen 38 on other companies, but 32 is still significant, and it's something to not ignore. Now, what I'm going to be watching is for this to actually go down, okay? This doesn't move up or down, it just stays in the same place. That means that the shorts haven't started to cover. But if this starts to go down, that means that shorts have started to cover, and it's going to start reflecting in the chart here. But these quick spikes here that you can see, these small ones, those are short moments of short squeezes happening because the shorts are slightly covering. But there's a large percentage of them, right, that still haven't covered, and this still has potential to squeeze even higher. And we've seen it in the history of the chart how it squeezes. I mean, this went from $2 all the way up to 10. This went from $3 all the way up to 5. So there's still some room here, right? So let's go ahead and look at some key levels here. So the first thing is the supports, okay? I'm going to talk about this a little bit broader because it is pretty volatile and it moves a lot, right? So down here at 253, that's the support level I would watch to know if this is going into further weakness and the bears are dominating and the shorts may not even have to cover because it's going back down, okay? That's the one thing I will be watching. Now, the lowest point in the day from yesterday to today is 305. If that gets broken through, I will be watching between 305 and 253 how the stock is reacting. For shorts to cover, this stock needs to stay up. And as you could see it, the stock has been going in an uptrend. Today it had its biggest sell-off. It's Friday, and it's something to be aware of. So the longer this stays up, the longer the pressure is, or the higher the pressure is for the shorts to have to cover. Now, the highest point between yesterday to today in these lows is right up here at 320. The bulls definitely want to break through that, but their next goal is the highest point before this collapse. That's 370, and then the highest point, 407. If this breaks through 407, shorts will possibly start covering or slightly covering. If not, retail investors or institutional investors that are going against the shorts, which are the bulls, are going to be pushing this up higher, and eventually the shorts will have to cover, and I will be watching this percentage right here if it goes down, because if it goes down from 32% and this is pushing upwards, shorts are starting to cover. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you learned something new, don't forget to subscribe, click on the bell so you don't miss a single video that I post. Share this with the friends so they can receive the insight as well. And thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.